Hello, I'm Mark Heinzelman, and welcome to my channel. So The Mask is a film I've long considered a favorite of mine going back to when I was a kid. I remember being captivated by how much it was influenced by Looney Tunes. Whether it's through Stanley Ipkiss, the main character, having Looney Tunes comics or calendars in his desk drawer at work, having Looney Tunes Tex Avery decorations in his apartment, or the various imitations of certain characters he does throughout the movie. As a kid, I could relate to a live action character being a fan of Looney Tunes. Still do. I even like that he does an impression of Clint Eastwood. Jim Carrey is nothing short of remarkable as Stanley Ipkiss the Mask. And as ordinary and affable Stanley might be, he could be very assertive and courageous when push comes to shove. There's a bravado to him that makes him very admirable. And Jim Carrey, with his presence and performance, I think, amplifies that. He's a major reason why this film resonates with me. And as a side note, I actually think Jim Carrey, if trained, coached, and directed a certain way, could have actually made a great Batman. I think Stanley Ipkiss, with his hairstyle and suits, could definitely pass as Bruce Wayne. And The Mask, in my opinion, does have tenets of a Batman film, which I will get into later on. And of course I love Milo the dog. I love how even if Stanley is locked up in a jail cell, he never leaves him. He stays in the alley next to the police station, which makes it all the more satisfying when he helps Stanley break out of jail, and help fight the criminals in the climax by wearing the mask himself. I'll have a dog like that soon enough. I also like how Milo can sense something unusual about the mask the minute he sees it, to the extent that when Charlie, Stanley's friend, tries to retrieve the mask for himself at the end of the film, Milo snatches it away from him because he knows that the mask, without any self-control, can cause a lot of trouble. Smart dog. I relished the Cuban Pete scene. Need I say more? I like how Edge City is a fantastical and exaggerated city. I'm always a sucker for that. And for a live action cartoon, there are some pretty dark moments, such as when Peggy sells Stanley out to the mob in exchange for cash, and nearly kill him until Dorian, the main villain of the film, asks Stanley how the mask works and ultimately decides to spare him because Peggy points out that hurting or killing Stanley was not part of the agreement. There's also a suspenseful scene where Tina tries to escape the mob only to be cornered and kidnapped. But what really stands out for me is when Stanley gets turned over to the police and incidentally jailed for his earlier actions, particularly when he robbed a bank and attacked the mechanics that ripped him off earlier. Granted, he did all of that when he had yet to consciously take control of the mask, but it goes to show you that there are consequences to his actions. Moments like these make The Mask a more nuanced and textured film, I think. Another point I want to make is that I've long considered The Mask to be a cartoon noir in that it has all these fantastical elements operating in the framework of a gangster crime plot. And visually, there's the establishing shot of Edge City, which looks very dystopian and downtrodden. And combined with a lot of neon lighting and some dark shadows, the movie looks slightly noir-like, I would say. And while I'm at it, I've always liked the style of the Coco Bungo Club because of its classical Art Deco design, and the palm trees surrounding it make it look a lot more exotic. With all that said, The Mask is truly one of a kind. It's pretty remarkable that a movie I liked as a kid still has resonance for me as an adult. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.